We have some issues these days in societies all over the world actually, but in India particularly there are issues about men and women, and people sometimes get so much riled up, and particularly in a democratic country like India. So, one of those issues are related to Sabrimala temple, which is the temple of Lord Ayyappan. I think a lot of people probably do not even know what Lord Ayyappan is. Lord Ayyappan is a product, a son of Mohini and Shiv. When the story long time ago, when during Samudra Manthan, when there was a Amrit and there was a wish, and the Mohini had to Lord Vishnu had to take the form of Mohini, and it is believed that Lord Ayyappan was born out of that Lord Vishnu's Mohini roop and Shiva. So, actually, believe it or not, in United States there was a group of gays who thought that since Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva both are male gods, so this was a product of a gay couple. People use in different kind of things. This was going on a few years ago in the United States. Now, here is of course a different. So, it is very interesting now that from gay couple product, now it has become a contention of women issues. It will be very entertaining to the gay associations in America who had this kind of ideas. Now, the issue here is really being brought up as equality, because there is some practice in Lord Ayyappan temple that only women of certain age can go for worshipping. The women of the age of the menstruating age, as had been defined, they cannot go there. They put arbitrarily 10 to 50, which may be approximately true, but the real issue is of equality, whether everyone who wants to go there can go. My fundamental issue is really who is equal to who. There is no, if you really look at fundamentally, there is no equality in two people. There are no two people who are supposed to be the same, based on their genes, based on their looks, based on their walks, based on their talks, based on their fingerprints. There is no equality at all. Actually, since we are talking about Hindu temple here, in Hindu temple, in Hindu philosophy, everybody is supposed to be at the state based on their karma, since two people's karma is not the same, so they can never be equal, they can never be even equally born. So, this whole idea is, to me, looks like a hoax. Now, we should look at religion, particularly in India. The religion should be looked at more logically, more rationally, and more scientifically. Why do I say that? Because Indian Constitution, Article 51A says that people will develop a scientific temper. And so, whenever we look at equality, I think especially with religious equality, I think that at least the religion should be used, religious philosophy should be used to interpret this. So, if we look at that, then we need to look at what might be actually a scientific idea behind certain types of women who could not go. Maybe they do not know, maybe they are saying there is a sanctity of the temple is somehow desecrated if women of certain age go, because they may be menstruating, although most women, Hindu women, when they are during their menstruation, they do not perform certain types of things. That includes puja, which even if they are at home, they do not do that. So, but maybe there are some people who think that it really does not matter. In most cases, it does not matter in modern times anyway. And but the other aspect that I think is being misguided or not even considered is that women's physiology is different, and now there have been studies, very modern studies in the last few years, that gene expression is different in when you are in different frame of mind. That includes when you are with certain types of people, or if you go to, for example, worship, since menstruation is highly related to women physiology and their mindset, there may be something that maybe should be looked at. I am not saying that should be really considered without looking at it. So, I think when certain women who want to go there, maybe they should go through some kind of test and prove that they are really capable of going and in that mindset, and they will not harm them, and I think that should be a government's responsibility as well. The last thing I wanted to say is very funny, because there is so much thing that is going on about Me Too in this country as well as at least in the United States, where women are raising issues rightly in many cases, or maybe even most cases, but certainly there are some controversies about that, where they think that there is a problem because there are males who harass them at workplace or in educational places or in the market or in the society. But here is very ironical that women want to go to a deity which is supposed to be a male deity, number one. Number two is supposed to be a celibate. On the other hand, at least in Indian constitutions, deities also supposed to have their rights. Actually, they are treated like human beings in most of the, at least Hindu deities. And in that case, I think women should respect the same way about the right of a male who wants to remain celibate, who does not want to see certain situation in which women might be going near. And I think that should be respected in the same way, just like the women should be respected in the Me Too movement. And I think that's very important, to have a fair and equitable treatment of men and women and males and females. Thank you.